I can't even remember how long I've been in the Alliance because I don't really remember pre-Alliance for myself. I joined the Alliance when my company was very small, and I think it's likely that during my time in the Alliance, I've grown from 40 employees to about 250, grown from a couple $1 million to about a $25 million company, gone through a failed acquisition and a successful acquisition, gone through hiring some good people and hiring some bad people and firing some people. And it's really been an incredible support network for myself. The culture in my Alliance group, it's a group of peers. We're all CEOs. It can be lonely at the top without people to bounce our ideas or fears or issues off of. And we listen to each other and help each other, and sometimes by helping another CEO in the group, it opens up a whole new vision into my own business or into one of our own businesses. I think the power of my Alliance group has been that we hold each other's feet to the fire, and I think sometimes all of us deep down know that we should be doing something else or not doing something, and my Alliance group holds the mirror up to myself sometimes. And I know that I have a senior member of management who's bad for the company, and even though that's a painful thing to go through, I better do something about it. And when I show up to my Alliance group next month, they're going to ask me about it and make sure I've done something about it. They care about me and care about my business the same way I care about them and care about their businesses. So a typical Alliance meeting, if it's in San Francisco, hopefully there's a dynamic speaker. Maybe we'll get a copy of his or her book and open up some great insights for the first 45 minutes or hour, and have breakfast with fellow CEOs and maybe meet a few new people. Then we'll get into our group and probably 8 to 10 CEOs along with our moderator, and we will go around the room and catch up. Everyone's going to talk about what's going well, what's not going well, and an issue I'd like to discuss. We might have a focused executive for the meeting who's going to go into more detail on their business. We might spend an hour and a half on that person's business and their issues. And then let's see what's going on. What are some of the urgent issues? Someone has a problem with their lease. Someone has a problem with a legal problem. Someone has an issue with an employee. Someone has just received an acquisition offer they weren't looking for. And we'll get into depth in those issues for 20, 30 minutes apiece. We'll ask questions. We'll learn more about it. And then kind of the powerful moment is going around the room and having a CEO tell me what they would do if they were in my shoes. And hopefully, they'll tell me what they've done when they've been in my shoes, when they've been faced with a similar situation. The Alliance Director keeps us on track, keeps us on time. It's easy during an update for some people to talk for a long time, and we want to make sure there's time for everybody. And it's almost like having a coach in the room. Keep us on track, make sure we're doing our drills, and then to keep the conversation going and make sure that people are getting to the heart of an issue. It's easy to bring up an issue that's close to the surface, and quite often when someone's talking about an issue, there's really a deeper underlying issue, and the director usually helps us get to that underlying issue. The things I'd like to see in a new Alliance member for my group is someone who's passionate about their business, someone who wants to grow their business, someone who has some experience, so that when I'm faced with issues and I bring them to my group, they can have something to teach me or something to share with me, and likewise something I can share with them. I want someone who's willing to share, someone who isn't going to come in and just say, hey, how do I hire a new sales manager? You can read that in a book. I want someone who's going to say, hey, I'm really worried about what's going to happen to me if I hire a new sales manager, because this is what happened to me before. And someone who's willing to dig deep, which is going to result in some really meaningful conversation. I was much younger when I joined the Alliance, so I think I bring a couple decades worth of experience to the Alliance. And I think, like many of us, I've certainly made my share of mistakes and false steps, and those are learning experiences. Those are teachable moments. And I've been in the Alliance long enough that I've learned a lot from others, both their mistakes and their successes. And when I hear someone bring up an issue, I can think about, all right, this sounds familiar. Or I've heard this before. I remember what this person did back in 2003 or 2007 and how that turned out. So, it's there's a lot to share, and there's a lot of experience to build on now. I think a lot of CEOs feel that they're so busy, especially when they're building a business, they don't have time to step back. They can't take half a day a month off to work on their business. They're so stuck in the business. But in the 10 plus years I've been in the Alliance, there hasn't been a month that's gone by where I've regretted taking that half day to work on my business. To step back to 30,000 feet, it's worth its weight in gold.